Support the movie as camera operator on Hallowed Be Thy Name. It's out on Xfinity now. Follow me on Instagram at luma.raw. And today we're going to talk about the topic I've been meaning to talk about since the beginning of this channel, and that is shot listing. Okay, so since the first video I put up in this channel, I did what is called a lined script. If you haven't seen that video, go back to the beginning of my channel or here. Lined script. You do a lined script, and I said it in the video so you know exactly what shots you're going to have in your movie. It's a good place to start so your mind and your movie connect. Now, to mortalize that idea and to bring it to life, you have to make what is called a shot list. With the lined script that I showed you how to do before, I'm gonna have it right here opened up. It's the script from a movie I shot a while back called Dinner Date. It was important to talk about camera moves, shot types, and camera lenses before I even started talking about the shot list, because you have to specify all those things in the shot list. Here is an example of a camera shot list that I did a while back. It's very simple. Shot lists can be way more complicated and more detailed about things, but this has worked for me in a lot of shoots because it keeps it simple, easy to explain, and organized for everybody. It's not the most detailed, but it does the job, and it does it pretty damn well, I'll tell you. So guiding ourselves with the lined script we did on the first video right here. This is an ugly version of it. I'm gonna clean it up a bit. Okay. The lined version of the script, we're going to use it as the template to make our shot list. So let's begin. So in the line script, we start with the first shot that we see there, and we see it says a big number 1 and it says master. Okay, as we see on the left part of our shot list, we have a hashtag, or it used to be called a pound sign, and a number under it. That is the number that we're using from our line script into our scene. So it says here scene. For scene, since this is the first scene of the movie, we just type a number 1. Shot size, here in the line script it says master. Typically is a wide, so on shot size, if we remember from the other video, it's a wide shot. So we put wide, or I like to abbreviate it on shot list, we just put a W. Next we have a shot type. It's a master, so we type master. Angle and orientation are up to you, but for this example, for the master shot, I would say the angle is definitely around hip level, because I want to have a wide capture of the whole scene. So we write hip slash, say profile, because it's from the side of them, so profile. Movement refers to what kind of moves you're going to use, any type of equipment. So since this is the master shot, we can use something fancy, so let's call it a dolly. You wouldn't have to specify where the dolly is going, we just have to say there's a dolly shot here, so we're prepared for it. Now comes the lens. For a master wide shot, you would typically use a wide lens. That would make the most sense. Universally for cinema, a wide lens would be a 24. So we write here 24. Sound means whether this part of the film is gonna have recorded sound synced to the take or not. Since there's gonna be dialogue in the whole scene, since it's a master shot, then we need sound. And when you have sound and you are gonna record sound, you write sync. Sync just means that you're gonna synchronize sound with video and audio. If you don't have sound, you write MOS. It is highly debated what the hell MOS means, but just to summarize it and to not complicate it, MOS means no sound, okay? Then it says description. Here's where you have more liberty to describe the shot, either for the director to understand it for themselves, for the DP to understand, for the AD, for the production coordinator, for anybody to understand. You write a description of the shot. So it says master here, and we know what's going on in the scene, so we just write it. When it says whole scene in parentheses, it's just that we're gonna shoot the whole scene in this shot. Then we have an X on the far right side. I just have it there, so when I print the shot list, I just mark it with an X when I shot the shot, and we move on with our lives. Okay, we're still in scene number 1, but we're gonna go with shot number 2. On the far left, we see a 2, but the scene is still number 1, so we write 1. And it says on our line script that it is a medium OTS of Gabriel, so that tells us a lot already. It's a medium and the size. Then a type is an OTS or over the shoulder. Angle orientation, since it's an OTS of Gabriel, we definitely want it to be eye level with him, so we write eye, and the orientation is frontal. Eye, frontal is a pretty good angle orientation for when characters are speaking. Movement, there's no movement, call it static. That means the camera's just gonna be in a tripod, panning, tilting, or rolling. Then a lens. For dialogue scenes, lens choices, again, it's very subjective what kind of lenses you use for what type of shots or what type of scenes. But for a dialogue scene, it's pretty normal to use a normal lens. So depending on the camera we choose, let's say we're going to use a 35mm. So we write 35 on the lens, and then since they're speaking, there is sound, so sync. In the description, we can be as detailed as possible, or not. We're just going to write briefly what shot 2 is going to be about. I write it's Gabriel welcoming Aureliana in. Perfect. Let's go to our next one. Our next shot is shot number 3. Medium OTS of Aureliana. Okay, this is very simple because it's very similar to shot number 2, so we just go scene 1, medium OTS. Probably the same because since it's a reverse shot, we want to keep the shots very similar so they look good when we're editing them. So eye/frontal, static as well. The lenses should stay the same when you're doing a dialogue scene, so 35 and sync. And then in description, we can either write, again, Aureliana coming in, or we can write reverse shot of shot number 2. That means that if you read the description of shot number 2, it's just the reverse of that. Gabriel welcoming Aureliana in, the Aureliana coming in. Very easy. So I would write reverse of shot number 2. Great. Look at that. That's looking good so far, so good. I like it, I love it, because I like organizing your movie before shooting it. I love doing that, okay? I'm a terrible producer, but when you get your shot list in order and you know what you're shooting and everything is there, man, I tell you. Shot number 4. It says medium wide serving wine. This is a medium wide of who serving the wine. If we read the script, Gabriel is serving the wine, so this is a medium wide of Gabriel. Medium wine. This is a medium wide of Gabriel. So MW for medium wide. Type. This is a single shot. Remember when we talked about shot types? Single means that there's just one person in the frame. So S or single. Let's just write single. Eye level. Again. Let's do the frontal. It might look or sound boring here, but then this is just for a reference of how you're going to compose your shot, because then how you compose your shot and where you put the actors or how the camera moves, it's up to you on set. Here it just gives you an idea where the camera is going to be in relation to the actor. Movement, static because it's on a tripod. Lens, we're doing a medium wide, it's from the hip up. We definitely want to be sort of wider than 35. So let's go with a 24, okay? It's a wide lens typically, but just move the camera closer and it becomes a tighter lens. I know. Then sync because there's going to be sound. And then as we wrote here in our line script with the description, Gabriel serving the wine. Very nice. Shot number 5. Scene 1. Shot number 5 here is this insert wine pour. Insert will be the shot size. So insert type. The inserts are a shot size and type at the same time. So you just write insert, or you can write single because it's just a wine cup, I guess. Angle orientation, wine glasses don't have an eye level. This is sort of the gray area when you're talking about shot size and orientation. An insert, you can be very descriptive with it, but an insert is just a close-up of an object. So we can leave angle orientation, we can write NA, this is non-applicable. And then movement, static, because it's going to be on sticks. And the lens, since we're doing an insert and a tight of the wine, we probably want to be on a tighter lens. So let's call it an 85, just to make it pretty tight, pretty nice. Sound, since it's just an insert of the wine, we can either have sync sound, so we record the sound of the wine pouring on set, or you can add that later if you're running out of time, or if you don't have, I don't know, for some reason you're not recording audio that day, you don't really need sound. But definitely, if you can shoot sound, record with sound, so we're going to call it sync. And then we have here in the description, wine glass insert. Good. It's a very simple description, but it tells us basically all we need to know about an insert shot. Okay, shot number 6. It's a close-up of Gabriel. We have a line of dialogue there, so scene 1, size close-up, type, I think this is either an over-the-shoulder or a single, but since we're in a tight shot, we can call it a single. Angle orientation, eye frontal. Movement static because it's on sticks. And then the lens here, we're going to use a 50 because the 85 might be a little bit too tight for a single shot, but the 50 is a good medium between normal and tight. Sound, definitely, because they're talking. It says Gabriel cheering. Good. Now we have the reverse shot of that. Again, shot number 7. Shot number 7 is a close-up of Aureliana. So again, we just see you, single, eye frontal, static, 50, because it's a reverse, we try to keep it all the same. Sync, reverse of shot number 6. Now we're on to our last shot, which is the 50-50. Scene 1, size, let's call it, since it's a 50-50, I want to have both of them. Let's call it a medium wide. Here we write 2 shot or 50-50. So since I've been saying 50-50 so much, let's just call it 50-50. Angle orientation, I want to do a profile, and hip level, so hip/profile. Oh, movement. Okay, since we're gonna be a little bit fancy here for the last shot of the scene, let's do another dolly shot. Okay, so let's call it dolly. I envision it so they're both eating, drinking wine. You know, Gabriel just served the wine and they clink it, and we see a dolly pushing back to reveal the living room and having their date start. I think it's pretty cool. Lens, it's a medium wide. It's gonna be on a dolly. Let's be in a wider lens, so 24 will be a good choice, I think. Synced audio because we want to hear what they're saying, and then description will be couple cheers together. They begin their dinner date. Now we have the shot list in an organized fashion where you can see it as a director, you can see it as the DP, and you can say, okay, I know exactly how we're shooting, what size, what type, what angle, what orientation, what movement, what lens, and whether there's sound or not, and what's happening. It cannot get more clear than this. The only way this can get even clearer is having what they call a storyboard. A storyboard is a drawing exactly of what you, the director, envision when you're thinking of your script. I'll leave a link down below for the template of this shot list. You can use it for whatever you want. Let me know if it worked out for you. Thank you for being here. I know I promised the video to come out last week, but I was outside of the country, so I couldn't make the video. Now I'm back. Next week I have another exciting video. I'm not entirely sure which one it's going to be yet, but I promise you it's going to be a great one. Please stay in tune. Follow me on Instagram at luma.raw, and I'll see you next week. I promise, next week.